Hey guys, Bowie here, and today we'll talk about one of the best supports in pubs in my opinion. And the first thing we're going to talk about is learning shackles at level 1. This is something that a lot of players still do instinctively, and back in the day when tri-lanes were very popular, shackles was the recipe for a sure kill, but times have changed. You rarely have tri-lanes, and even when you're playing a tri-lane, either shock can be a great addition. 145 damage at level 1 for 95 mana is a great deal, unless you have a hero like Juggernaut or Ursa in your lane that can definitely get you a kill once you get the shackles off. You're usually more likely to deal extra damage with the Ether Shock. GH actually wears down an Abaddon here, getting first blood and buying out before dying. In fact, expanding on the skill build, you should always max Ether Shock first 99% of the times. While Rasta's early control can seem amazing for some heroes, every support actually needs damage and wave clear, and if you ignore your Ether Shock, you're gonna feel awful the entire game, I guarantee you. The second thing we're talking about is Blink Dagger as a first item. Just build Aetherlands. Aetherlands is a marvelous item on Shadow Shaman. It allows him to use his spells from a safer position, and he has 4 clickable spells, so that's amazing for a hero like him. While Blink Dagger is a popular item on Shadow Shaman, you will almost never see it as a first big item. Sometimes even BKB gets built before it, like in this game, but in other games where a specific and slippery hero has to be killed, you can go Blink before the BKB. This is another reason why Aetherlands and the cast range talent are so good. You can push waves from trees without ever showing, making it harder for the opponent to pinpoint your location and punish you, and it's just easier for you to move heroes around the map to get better fights for your team. Using Serpent wards for fights is something that a lot of players actually don't do as much as they should. A lot of people have this mindset that Serpent wards should be used to force towers all the time. And a lot of the times that can be true, but it doesn't mean that you should save them in big battles. Look at this Serpent ward usage by GH. The tier 1 tower and the wave are super close to him, yet he doubles down this teamfight to make sure that the Conqueror is dead. Forcing buildings in high MMR games is brutally hard. Kunkka in particular can easily punish you while you retreat, so why not eliminate a key target and then push, since there are heroes dead and they're probably not gonna stop you now. This is even more incentivized this game since they have a fair amount of pushing heroes anyways, meaning as long as they win a fight, the towers will fall naturally. Note though that he Serpent wards with his entire team there, ready to take a tower, which is different to using Serpent wards to solo kill the enemy support 5 in a place that gives you absolutely no objectives. This is another great moment. His entire team close to him, lane pushed, he wards, and finds the Venomancer. By the way, this can only be done because of the Aetherlands we talked about before. See how far away he is from the place that he actually warded? This increases your cast range for wards, and it's just an amazing item of supports. The end result is almost a team wipe and a tower ready to be taken down. In a lot of games, Serpent wards is the only way you can contribute to fights. People think of the marvelous benefit of Blink Daggers and the instant cast points, which is definitely great, but the meta in the game revolves so much around fights nowadays that if your 2000 gold item is a Blink, yeah, you might get that one pick-off, but you'll die immediately in the fight, and that's not worth it most of the time. You want to live, you want to get experience, cast multiple spells. Note how GH feels powerless in this fight. This is a different game, and unlike the other clips, GH is not pushing with his team here. They are retreating. GH uses the fog perfectly to trap the Gyrocopter, and even though Serpent wards are great for pushing, if you as a support can solo kill a core like this, it will always be worth it to do so. Now we're going to talk about Boots as a first item. While Shadow Shaman has a lot of attack damage and harass with Ether Shock, he is also rather squishy. Early Boots is always going to be the best solution to that, not only protecting you, but making you a threat early on. Look at GH chasing down Metamorphosis Terrorblade and getting a kill because of the Boots. Even after the Terrorblade comes back, you can see how confident he can play with the item. This is obviously not feasible if you're playing Shadow Shaman 5, but I honestly think that Shadow Shaman 5 is not even good in the first place. A lot of people struggle with laning this hero when they don't have an easy way to kill people with shackles. This hero though actually owns in the laning stage provided you play correctly. In this game, G8 is against a Bane, one of the best traders in the game, yet G8 gets a kill on him by slowly wearing him down. Because of his 330 move speed and your whopping 77 damage, you can do a lot with this hero. Look how he constantly deals damage to the Gyrocopter without taking any. Before that, you can see how even when Bane engages on GH, he can disengage first to this fog to punish him back. Bane can have all the mangos he wants, but the boots will always be there to protect him and allow him to get extra attacks. Another thing to mention, if we rewind that clip, is how he doesn't just spam Ether Shock randomly when it's ready. No, he wants to be able to attack at the same time. See how he always uses Ether Shock in between attacks to be extra efficient with his harass here? BKB is definitely not a popular item in lower MMR games, but it is one of the most popular items on high MMR Shadow Shamans, and maybe there's some correlation there. It is quite simple why the item is popular. What's the point of getting a 7.5 Shackle duration talent if it's going to be cancelled in 1 second by one of the many disables your opponent has? Another reason that permeates this discussion is the 20% experience talent at level 10. As a hero that gets more experience than normal, surviving fights to benefit from it is crucial, and thus BKB is a great solution. You have mana and HP regen taken care of because of Adrian Trankos, you have initiation because of the cast range talent and your Raider lens, so BKB just really enhances your presence in fights and makes sure that your kit can be used to the fullest potential. As you can see, GH goes Blink Dagger this game, but after the BKB. And just watch this clip. If GH tries to quote-unquote initiate, even with BKB, he'll get massacred. So the Blink Dagger is always a way for him to control the distance between him and the enemy to make sure he can delay their push. This is another clutch play that BKB in conjunction with Blink allows GH to pull off. Everyone's stacked with items, so as they try to rearrange their backpacks, he steals the Aegis while his team is ratting. This one is pretty simple. Just make sure to try and deny your Serpent wards. Get a control group for all of them, and that's something quite easy to do when someone tries to clear your wards after a fight. Don't give them that cheap easy gold. People usually have the right idea with this hero. They realize how well he pushes lanes and how his ult can be useful in a tower. But usually you should try to split push when you don't have your ult ready. This hero is great at tower sieging, but he's also an amazing wave clearer. 2 Ether Shocks clear a wave, or 1 if you have a creep wave to tank it, meaning that by yourself you can create good engagements by forcing heroes to rotate to your lane. The best time to try and split push side lanes is when your ult is on cooldown, because you're not really that good on fighting when you don't have your ult. This is usually how a fight goes when you don't have Serpent wards, especially without BKB. It's hard to contribute if all your damage is only 1 Ether Shock, and enemies can easily cancel your shackles. Obviously, if you have to fight, don't go split push, but try not to force unnecessary fights unless you're sure you have the advantage financially or numerically when your ult is on cooldown. Now let's talk about Tome. As a position 4, you should usually be level 6 at 10 minutes, or be ahead of your support 5 at 10 minutes. So getting the Tome for yourself is quite greedy, and more often than not, you should leave it to your position 5. GH even buys it for his Lion here, but after the first Tome, he gets pretty much every subsequent one, and this is great for many reasons. First of all, you should be level 10 when the second Tome comes out, and if you're not, you should save the Tome until you get the talent to get more experience. But anyways, once you have that talent, the Tome suddenly becomes very important to you, and you have so many good talents that doing that constantly will definitely increase your impact throughout the game. Now, there is a lot to talk about spell usage. A lot of people, when they play Rasta, they blink in, they use off their spells, and they shackle, and that's it. GH, though, consistently goes the extra mile. Look at him solo killing the Stinker. As soon as he gets vision, he hexes, even checks his inventory, and he right-clicks him instead of using the shackle straight up. Only when the hex wears off, he actually uses the shackles. Also note that the Tinker is stuck inside the wards, and that is another thing he constantly does. He traps the hero inside it because it makes sure that even while hexed, he's not going to be able to run away, and thus you just do the maximum amount of damage possible, especially when BKB is on and very few heroes can cancel your shackles now. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching, commenting, and subscribing. As you guys know, I'm struggling with making videos when I'm also casting and trying to improve myself as a player and as a talent. So if Patreon is an option for you, consider my Patreon. He's in the description. It really helps a lot. If you cannot join Patreon, make sure to share this video with your friends if you can, and make sure to follow me in all social media. It really helps out when it comes to talent, you know, being a known person and having a lot of people following you gives tournament organizers some certainty that, you know, I'm a figure that people like. Anyways, thank you very much. You can follow me on Twitch if you want to watch me cast or play some Dota 2. You can follow me on Twitter. Actually, there are people that showed in this video because they sent me some replay IDs, so make sure to follow me there so you know when I'm looking for one. And that's it, guys. Thank you very much. Bye.